custody. The area is now secure and there is no further threat to the public. We do have a crew on the scene getting details. Officials are also expected to give an update in just a moment. I do believe they are going to brief us now. Do we have a live shot from the scene? All right, let's go to the scene live now where officials are supposed to talk about what happened. Here we go.
Our team began to set up a perimeter. We had officers that went to the location to begin check for victims and make sure that the scene was secure there. Other officers encountered the suspect at Poplar on the south side of Poplar, very near to the entrance. Suspect had a firearm in his possession. It was on his person. It wasn't in his hand. He was taken into custody without incident. So we do have the suspect in custody at this time. We do have one fatality, and it's probably all that we're going to release at this point. We're not going to be releasing any of the names of the suspects. We did conduct multiple searches of the facility, continue to make sure that it was secure. Including we had our drone pilots fly the exterior of the building to ensure that we didn't have anyone that the suspect may have encountered when he left. All that's clear. So this appears to be a one-on-one interaction that occurred in an exam room. And so with that, I will open it up for some questions.
I know you're not, this is Action News 5, I know you're not releasing any names or a name of a suspect, but can you let us know if this suspect was possibly a juvenile?
Cannot at this point. We'll release some more information tomorrow, but not going to release that at this point.
When just for clarity,
so hold on, we're going to do one at a time. Go ahead.
And just for clarity, you said that this incident started while they were inside of an exam room. So can you confirm if it was involving a healthcare worker? You said it was an exam
Yes.
room.
Yes.
Okay.
Was a healthcare worker, and he was a patient to our understanding. Now, this is preliminary, so know that the information could change, but that's what we have at this point. Ma'am, you had a question.
Was anyone else shot or injured?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I've been told that the healthcare provider had been receiving threats from this particular patient over the past week. Do you have any reports of those threats?
I have not received anything to that nature.
You said the suspect was a patient?
He was there that day, had been there, it's my understanding, several hours. So yes, he was a patient.
Had been there several hours before the shooting, or had been there and then left and then came back?
No, it's my understanding that he had been there for several hours before. Yes, sir.
Victim, a man or woman?
He's male.
And you said healthcare worker. Is he a doctor?
Well, I'm going to leave it at that. Out of respect for the employees at Campbell's Clinic, the family, we want to make sure that those that the folks are notified properly. We're very preliminary in the investigation. We're going to be working with ATF to do a trace on the firearm, doing some other things. Our detectives, as you can imagine, there were many patients that were there, employees, and so there's a lot of interviews that are going to be taking place. And so in the coming days, we'll be able to provide you with some additional information, but be patient with us now.
Just two more questions for me.
Okay.
I just want to get clarity on two more things. So
okay.
Again, this was, you're saying, not a random act. This was targeted. It was one-on-one, you said, correct?
It appears to be at this time. This is not the mass shooting situation that we experienced at Kroger several years ago. It's nothing like that. It's bad. It's horrific. It's terrible. And our thoughts and prayers are with the family. We have made notification to them, and so we're going to continue to pray for them. And I would hope that your viewers would do the same. But that's out of respect for them and those employees, we don't want to release the name.
Understood. And then my last question was just again the narrative. So I guess he shot the healthcare worker. How did he leave out from the exam room?
He ran.
Okay, he ran, and that's when police caught up with him with the firearm on his person.
Yeah, he had the firearm on his person. It wasn't in his hand, but he had it in his possession.
Was there a threat prior to this happening?
Not that we're aware of.
Can you tell me what type of gun he used?
It's handgun.
Handgun? Okay. And I know you just mentioned Kroger. We're 2 months out from the 2-year anniversary. I can only imagine that brings up so many thoughts and memories in all the first responders' minds, people who were inside the clinic. Can you say anything on that, on how it felt responding to this.
Yeah, it's difficult because you know that men and women are fixing to go into harm's way, and I guess what I would say to that is I'm very proud of our team. And again, we're talking about a guy that ran from a shooting scene and he's in custody within 5 minutes without additional loss of life, and so including our team, the suspect. And so I'm proud of them for that. Another thing that I think is a good point that we need to highlight in this, that one of our officers highlighted to me that as they entered the building, there were several employees that had taken charge of the patients that were there to be seen, and other employees, making sure everybody was accountable. They were practicing what they had been trained in active shooter. Folks, that makes a difference. It absolutely makes a difference. Today, it wasn't that type of situation, but it very well could have been. And we saw people in stressful environments go into what they had been trained to do. And so I commend the folks at Campbell's Clinic for making sure their employees are trained. And I talked with the director just a few minutes ago on the phone, and his focus right now is on his employees. And I told him that we would be there to help them any way that we could. And so we'll have a presence there over the next couple of days and get through this as a community.
Can you share any information like the suspect's age at all?
No, we're not going. We will. We're not trying to keep anything from you. We will. But we're very early in the investigation, and we want to make sure that we have all of our I's dotted and our T's crossed. So we'll provide you with some additional information tomorrow.
And as far as you know, so there was no altercation before, since this person had been there for hours?
Yeah, we know we don't have any information to substantiate any of that at this point. Now, that could come out later in the investigation. There's still interviews being conducted. That there may be things that I'm not privy to at this point. I think the main message for us at this moment in time, it's a tragic event, but there's no ongoing threat to our public, and that's what we want to get out. There's, social media is wonderful, but sometimes it takes on a life of its own. I mean, Major Townsend can tell you, I think he was already getting calls from CNN like this was, like we were having another mass shooting event. So we want to calm the fears, okay? It's horrible. Please pray for the victim and his family. But right now, there's no ongoing threat.
While I have you here, I just wanted to ask if this might be, are you aware of anything going on at Kroger at Houston Levy?
You don't have any information?
I think something related to the fire department.
Maybe a fire call. That's
Fire call.
yeah.
Okay.
Not sure.
One more question.
It looked like around 2:30 that y'all were evacuating the scene. Was that real, getting employees off the scene? And do you know how long Campbell's Clinic might be closed?
I know that the director said that they would probably be closed tomorrow. He just want to make sure, one, they're going to be doing grief counseling and things for their employees. Also, I wanted to give you all a number, if you don't mind putting out, for Shelby County Crime Victims Rape Crisis Center. I can't speak enough about how much they helped us in the aftermath of Kroger with people that were experiencing trauma from that incident. So I would encourage people that if you do need counseling, you need assistance, contact them. It's 222-4350 is the number. Also, if anyone out there has any information and they have not talked to our detectives, please call us at CPD.
What's the number for them?
What's the best number for them to call?
457-2520.
2520. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Last one.
Last one. So, 5-minute response time, that is incredible in such a tragic situation. And as you touched on social media, so many people within the community, they're going to post, they're going to talk. What can we do and what can public service workers do to help calm those fears in such situations as this?
Well, he was in custody in less than 5 minutes. The cars were on the scene where the victim was within 3 minutes. So what I would say is, get your information from the actual source. Today, you guys are here. You're going to put out the story. It's going to be from us. It's not somebody that heard from somebody who was there 3 times over. I would say that, and I would say don't live your life in fear, okay? These incidents drive fear, and if we sit around and think about it and worry about it, we just have to be observant, pay attention to our surroundings, do as the people at Campbell's Clinic did today. When it began, they reacted the way they were trained, and I commend them for that. You know, it's for us as law enforcement officers who's done this training for many years to see it play out. I mean, I hate that we have to, but to know it truly makes a difference when people will go through that. And that's the last plug I'll put in, is that if there's any business organization that wants training how to respond to incidents, please call us. If you're in Collierville, if you're not, your local police department, regardless of where you are, I can promise you they're doing it.
Can I ask one more thing?
I don't know, can she ask one more thing? Yes, I guess so.
When Kroger happened, you talked about how Run, Hide, Fight played a big role in how many people survived. Would you say that was a similar thing today?
Well, they were doing the similar training. The attack here today is nowhere the same as what we saw. This looked like there was opportunity from what we know at this point, again, that if he wanted to shoot at other people, that could have happened, and it didn't. So we're not sure why. The investigation will tell that. But that Run, Hide, Fight, that, or a version of that training, is so important today because we're watching incidents play out all over the country. But don't live in fear. Just be aware of your surroundings. Pay attention. You see something suspicious, somebody acting suspicious, let law enforcement know. We can't be everywhere all the time, so we need the eyes and ears of our community. We're here to keep people safe, and that's our message today, is that we're going to do everything in our power to keep people safe.
Are firearms prohibited inside that facility?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
And
All
did
right.
this happen on the second floor?
We're going to hold that right now, okay? All right. That's it.
Collierville
Thank you all.
Police Chief
Appreciate you.
Dale Lane giving us the details of what happened today, a deadly shooting at Campbell Clinic in Collierville. We know that one healthcare worker is dead. The suspect is in custody.
Yeah, and you heard the police chief say that they was in custody within 5 minutes after that shooting, and that there's no further danger to the public.
Stay with us. Action News 5 at 4 continues after this.